vijana wako.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, there's a salute to all the disciplined forces across the world. So welcome to Civic TV, your home of infotainment. If it's your very first time interacting with this channel, feel free. My name is Civic, the host on this channel, and we do a lot of things on this platform. But today, Civic is gonna handle a very specific topic. I believe you've seen from the intro of the video, you've seen a few clips that were introduced in the video. Today we are covering something to do with the disciplined forces. That's why I still have to salute them for the very third time. So why are we talking about disciplined forces? And which disciplined forces are we tackling in particular? So how did we get here first? How did we get to do this? So Civic is a Kenyan, content creator, currently based in Nigeria. And so how we got here is because I had some kind of culture shock from what I saw when I got to interact with the National Youth Service Corps, popularly known as NYSC in Nigeria, versus the National Youth Service, NYS, that I know in Kenya. So these two, they're supposed to be doing the same thing, but what I saw in Nigeria is pretty different from what I saw or what I've experienced in Kenya. So in this video, I'm going to cover, I'm going to look at differences between the Kenyan NYS and the NYSC in Nigeria, differences, similarities, and basically just break it down, how the situation is in Nigeria, how the situation is in Kenya, to paint a picture so that we all get what actually happens. So in the course of the video, maybe we'll be seeing a few clips here and there, because of course we now need to understand how they normally do their thing, ranging from how they do their drills. We need to see the drills done in Kenya, the drills done in Nigeria. How is the uniform? How does it look like? What kind of training do they go through? How is the curriculum? Such things. Basically, that's what we're gonna tackle in this video. So I know it has been long since I last did a video, so guys, forgive me. To be honest, I was on the verge of giving up on YouTube, but then I said, you know what? There is a course that I had. There is a reason why I'm doing this content, not for monetization or for anything. I just need this, the generation that is coming after me to get something to watch, to just get to know who their papa was, who their grandpa was, and all that. So it's for the future generation. So I have to document everything for them. And on that note, we are back to comparing the Nigerian National Youth Service Corps against the Kenyan National Youth Service. So what are the main differences? What are the main similarities? What are these two programs targeting? Basically, that's what I want us to look at. So you'll excuse me, in this video I'll be referring I can't memorize everything, because of course I had to research a bit to understand a thing or two about the Nigerian National Youth Service Corps. So I had to do a bit of research. So I have notes somewhere, so I'll be referring to my notes from time to time. So I hope you don't mind about that, because at the end of the day we are here to disseminate information. That's why we are the home of infotainment. So let's dive into the video. I don't want to keep you with long intros. So first things first, these two programs, NYSC Nigeria, NYS in Kenya, they're both government sponsored, and of course their main agenda is to engage the youth. I'll give the age breakdown shortly. So they get to engage the youth in programs that will make them more responsible people in the society, and then of course again their major intention is to foster patriotism. So that's the main focus behind these two programs being formed by the government. So they get to work on making responsible citizens, and then they of course get to foster patriotism, because when you are in those programs you get to interact with the people from different states if you're in Nigeria, for instance, or different counties if you're in Kenya, and then that makes you it really brings up that nationalism picture. So of course, down here you'll be seeing videos running from the drills, but we'll get to watch them in detail at some point. So, or should we watch one now? No, let me tell you first about NYS before we get to check the drills. But you'll be seeing them running here down below, and then of course that will give you a picture of what you're talking about. So now let's look at the similarities between the two programs before we break down each in detail. So similarity number one, of course, as we've said, they engage the youth. And the reason why they're engaging the youth, you've always heard these politicians tell us, what, the youth are the future, the youth are the next generation, like they're the next leaders. So obviously the youth have to be engaged for such skills to be imparted into them, leadership skills, basically all these things have to be imparted into the youth for them in preparation for the future. So that's why the programs actually tend to target the youth. Another thing is that, of course, why the youth? They target the youth because these are the people who are strong enough to get into the community, to do community service, skill development, and of course they can get to do other nation building activities. That's why the focus is normally on the youth. So I've realized that I keep explaining using my hands, and that means the audio quality might be lost from time to time. So let me try to have these affixed at that point so that I can freely use my hands. Yeah, so that is one similarity, youth engagement. Similarity number two, of course, national service. You are offering your services to the nation, whether for free, whether you'll be paid a stipend, that doesn't matter. Either way, you're still offering national service to the nation. So whether you're in Nigeria in the NYSC, whether you're in Kenya in NYS, so there's a difference in the word or in the name. We look at that under differences though. So similarity number three is we look at the duration. Both programs have a specific duration where you'll get to serve in camp. So if you're in Nigeria, there is a duration that you'll serve in camp, which is of course 1 year. If you're in Kenya, not 1 year in camp though, like the entire program takes 1 year, but so we'll break it down. I don't want to, I don't want to, mess everything up just right now. I don't want to let you know everything before we finish the video. So, but basically they have a duration. If it's NYS in Kenya, it has its own duration as well. So once you're done with the duration, of course you pass out, progress to wherever, and a new cohort comes in for training as well, and a later continue. So that's it. What about the differences? So what differences do we have in this program? Of course, the names. In Kenya, it's called National Youth Service. In Nigeria, it's called National Youth Service Corps. So of course, the name is different, right? It's different. So that's the main difference. Number two is the structure and focus. I think we'll realize that in Nigeria, for instance, for you to join NYSC, normally it takes people that have graduated from tertiary institutions, colleges, universities, and all that. And of course, its age limit is between, I think it's under 30 for Nigeria. But now when you get to Kenya, the age limit is between 18 and 24. So normally it takes people that are fresh from high school. Yeah, so it can as well take people from campus, but according to its structure, it's not compulsory. So for Nigeria, it's compulsory. For Kenya, it's not compulsory. You can just join willingly. It's voluntary. So for instance, I did not join NYS as a Kenyan, but a colleague, like all my colleagues that I work with here in Nigeria, have actually undergone NYSC training. They have been to camp, so there's a difference. Another thing about this whole thing, maybe post programs, you'll realize that after the program, of course, there'll be posting. So if you're in Nigeria, you'll be posted maybe to a different state to now implement what you learned, serve the community, engage the community and the people there in national development, do a lot of these things. But in Kenya, it's a bit different. Once you're done, you either now partake at further training in the NYSC colleges, in the National Youth Service colleges, or appointed colleges, and all after the duration of the physical training, getting the skills and everything. So, but we'll delve into this as we progress. I believe now it's time. Let's watch our first clip. Of course, you've seen the clip earlier, but I want us to now watch it in detail. And then after watching that clip, one of the drills, I will take you straight into breaking down what the Kenya National Youth Service is all about. And then after that, we'll watch a snippet of NYSC, that is for Nigeria. We'll watch their own drill, and then of course discuss a thing or two about it before the video is done. So please stay with me, guys. Stay with me, don't tire. Support your boy, and please, if you're here to subscribe, I'll really appreciate if you get to subscribe to my channel. I'll really appreciate so much, guys. So please do me the honors. Yeah, so let's watch the clip. I don't wanna spend much of the time, guys. Wow, how do you see that, guys? This is a pass out. It's a pass out, guys. I feel like I'm now marching. Hey. Well, just check it out, guys. Very organized, man. Very, very organized. Damn. Very organized, guys. So these guys go through very thorough training, paramilitary training, and man, their things are always very orderly, sleek. Just check that out. Check the arrangement. Man, I really wish I attended this, but now I'm old. I can't manage. My age is past that, so that is it. So now let's get to break it down. So the National Youth Service is actually a government agency that is established by the national government, of course, and its aim is, of course, nation development, empowerment, and of course skill enhancement in the youth. So which youth are actually targeted here? Who are the focus? So the focus is the Kenyan youth between the age of 18 and 24. So if you're past 24 years, you can now join the program. Is it compulsory? No, it's not compulsory in Kenya. It's very voluntary. So you choose whether to join or not. Must you have been through a tertiary institution? No. So long as you are done with high school, with your Form 4, you can join. Are we good? High school is secondary school. I noted that I was telling someone about high school here in Nigeria today, and then I was like, high school, secondary, or you mean college? No, high school is basically secondary school, Form 1 to Form 4. That is in the 844 system. The system, the academic system in Nigeria is different. So we'll discuss about the academic system or the education system way later in maybe another video in case people request for it. But that aside, so we are talking about the focus, we've said the youth, the age, and of course, this program actually focuses on training, mentorship, with community service, things about that. And then of course I've given you the age limit, and it takes both genders, both men and women. So we need to be very clear on that as well. Now, maybe what activities do they engage in? That is Kenya National Youth Service. Remember, we are comparing the two, so we've just seen their drill, so let's get to know more. What else do they do? What activities rather do they really engage in? Number one activity, training and development, where of course they get to train across various fields, ranging from vocational skills. They get trained plumbing, whatever, tailoring, all these skills, leadership, entrepreneurship, how to start businesses, and depend on yourself, and of course civic education. And remember, discipline is one of the things that these people actually live. Whenever they when passing out, the number one attribute that they come out with is discipline. They're very, very disciplined. Then of course, activity number two is the training, the NYS training itself, whereby they get both military skill or military style of training, and of course skills development. We just talked about the skills ranging from, you know, the vocational leadership and everything. That is what they get to learn. And then of course they learn about discipline, leadership, teamwork, all these things from the training camp. Of course, the biggest training camp in Kenya is at Gilgil. That is the headquarters of National Youth Service. But of course, there are other centers. There's the Nairobi one and all that. And then of course, community service. Remember, you have gone. These are national projects. You undergo training and you have to give back to the society. So it's one of the aims that at the end of the day, you'll also get to impact the society positively, of course. That is why they have not to participate in community service, you know, what, environmental conservation, disaster response. So anytime there is a fire somewhere, they run there to help rescue, you know, the victims. There's a flood somewhere, they run to sort the disasters. And then of course there is a national event happening, they are there to assist in security, they assist the police and everything. So that's what happens in Kenya, guys. Yeah, project implementation, of course, road construction. Sometimes the government needs extra hands. Yeah, let's call upon the National Youth Service to come in and help us. What's the duration? What is the duration of training under Kenya National Youth Service? The duration is actually 6 months. Remember, we said the age is 18 to 24. It's not compulsory, so I hope you are now able to differentiate. So after 6 months, there's a pass out. If you are to progress, you can now progress with your studies. But the main paramilitary training and of course this skills training is in 6 months, and it's thorough. It's thorough. I'll of course run a few clips as we go through this. I may not be able to discuss it with you, but yeah, that's it. So maybe what are the benefits? Why should someone might be wondering, Savik, why should I join the NYS? Kenya NYS, why should I join? So of course, man, number one, the essential skills that you're getting from there, you cannot get them anywhere. Discipline that is from NYS cannot be gotten anywhere. Especially on timekeeping, man, those guys are good. So they are really disciplined, and then they know the hierarchy. You know, there is that hierarchy of leadership. Where do I escalate an issue to the escalation matrix? These people know how to follow that, so they're very, very disciplined. And then of course they're very highly skilled, and they are very responsible people. So that is what you gain whenever you join that. Any challenges? There were a bit of misappropriation of funds that was rumored to have happened some time back, but since then the Kenya NYS has since reformed. You know, new leadership, new programs have been implemented. So currently, man, it's very organized. It's now like a full entity on its own. It's like a parastatal on its own, so it's doing very, very well. So that is it for the Kenya National Youth Service, the NYS. So I feel like it's about time we also get to look at the NYSC drill. Let's see. I think, yeah, we need to check their drill before we talk about them as well shortly, and then we finish the video, because I don't want to keep you guys for so long, man. I do appreciate your time, and man, I don't take it for granted, so I don't want to keep you here for so long. So let's just listen in. Let's check out this drill, guys. Let's go. There you go, guys. So that's it, man. Hey, you see, man, that's it. NYSC. These guys are doing a very good job. So let's learn a bit about the NYSC. So I leave this clip running on the background. You'll be seeing it down here as we discuss this, right? And then you'll be like, Savik, why did you play? I mean, a very small snippet. This video is so long, so I can't play it all. The other one was about 53 seconds, the one that we played. This one is 13 minutes long, man, honestly. So yeah, There we go, guys. So let's check out a fact or two about NYSC, and then we drop this conversation. So as we said, in Kenya, NYS is not compulsory, but in Nigeria, NYSC is a mandatory one-year national service program for Nigerian university graduates. Not university graduates only, though. It's graduates from any tertiary institution. So that we need to know that clearly. When was it established? 1973, and it's been happening since. In Kenya, NYS was established in 1964, and it has been happening since. So, there's another difference. So we need to note such. So what is the aim of all this? It's meant to foster national unity, promote understanding, instill a spirit of selflessness, among Nigerians. So just like the other one, just like Kenya, we want to national unity, discipline, entrepreneurship, or such skills. That is the same thing that these Nigerian National Youth Service Corps also aims at. Duration, 1 year. Remember we said the Kenyan one is 6 months, so that's why I feel like a bit of culture shock. Of course, now that we've seen two clips from both sides, you've seen even the uniform. The Kenyan one looks a bit like a military kind of dressing. A lot of this, I believe you've seen the difference by yourselves compared to now the uniform that the NYSC use. But notwithstanding, let's proceed. What do I need to be eligible to join the Nigerian National Youth Service Corps? Of course, I need to be under 30. That's the first thing. You need to have completed a tertiary education program, and then of course you need to be below 30 years. So the moment you cross 30 years, you can't join. You've passed the moment. You've passed that period. Deployment, of course, I think I've talked about this. Training will happen in one area, but you won't be deployed to your state of origin. So you'll have to be deployed in a different state. That's how national unity comes in. So you go to a different state, you get to learn how the state operates, and of course you get to mingle with people that you're not rather used to. So that's how the whole system works. What do? They have or rather, what activities do they engage in? They have an orientation camp. This is where, of course, you get to learn. You take 3 weeks to learn about, various things, discipline, leadership. So now, here's the catch, guys. In Kenya, these guys take 6 months in the camp for training, paramilitary training. And then NYSC takes how long? 13 days. Rather 3 weeks. 3 weeks. That is 21 days. That's, you undergo training and then you are deployed. So for the rest of the month, you'll be deployed. It's 1 year program, but you'll be deployed most of the period. Like 11 months and 1 week, you'll be deployed. You notice the difference? Let's keep going. The primary assignment, of course, they get posted to government agencies, schools, healthcare centers, institutions. Yeah, and that's where they stay for about 9 months. So that's it, guys. Any benefit that I stand to gain for joining the NYSC as a Nigerian? Of course, I get to interact with people from different ethnic groups. That fosters national unity. I get to experience different cultural backgrounds, And of course, you get to learn how to solve problems. You get problem-solving skills whenever you are in this camp and, you undergo this training. Maybe the major challenge that this has faced, security challenges, especially when you are deployed to a very rural area, maybe in a different state that you're not familiar with. It normally doesn't go very well. It's also perceived that there is a mismatch between the skills of graduates and the available placement. So sometimes I'm a graduate, I've done computer science, I've done engineering, you're placing me maybe to a very different role. So I'm like, really, do they even relate? So such are the challenges. But from where I sit, I think I now have a very clear picture on the difference between the NYSC, the National Youth Service Corps, and the National Youth Service in Kenya. I think I now have a very clear difference. Are you able to differentiate the two? Are you able to? Yeah, so I think we've all seen the clips that have been running. I wanted us to maybe check one more clip during the pass out. So what happens, especially during the Kenyan pass out, I'm not very sure about the pass out in Nigeria, so I don't want to say this, but in the Kenyan pass out, normally the president attends, and whenever the president is in attendance, of course, man, there has to be a lot of entertainment, and whenever this entertainment is happening, a lot is shown. So let me show you how bodybuilders actually did it one of these fine days when they were graduating. So let's check that out, guys. Heavily built, guys. They are heavily built. So these videos courtesy of SPTV. I hope they won't take it down. Yeah, so let's check out bodybuilders. Those are part of NYS. So just check the difference, guys. You know, I'm not supporting Kenya per se since I'm a Kenyan, but I'm just saying, you know, you can all see the difference between what we've seen about NYSC and National Youth Service. So you can compare and contrast, right? So there you go, guys. Heavily built, guys. Yeah, so they are there. They're of course entertaining the president. They're showing him their skills, you know, how heavily built they are, what they can do, what their muscles can do. Man, these men are ready to serve the nation. Are you ready to serve your nation? Are you ready? Yeah, man. So basically, I think, yeah, every day we get to have our own share of culture shocks. You know, every day we learn new things, we discover new things. So we are like, I never thought this was happening this way. So next time I'll actually tell you about the education system in Nigeria versus that one in Kenya. But let's first of all concentrate on these bodybuilders as they showcase their skills during the National Youth Service Parade, the pass out parade. And we have President Ruto in attendance. So they're showing him, hey, Mr. President, sir, Your Excellency, we are well built. We are ready for the service. We are ready to serve our nation. We are ready to go, man. We are ready to give back to the community and serve the community well. You know what? Exactly. And they're done, man. Heavily built, man. So, of course, there's a lot that goes into training them, a lot of drills and everything. So basically, guys, basically that's it. So, I believe you now have it all. So, something else is actually happening. So, check it out, guys. Can you see that, guys? How is it, guys? Damn, oh boy. These guys have really undergone training. That is the Kenya National Youth Service. Yeah, so I believe that you guys now at least you have the picture, man. You know what you're talking about. You can now differentiate between the National Youth Service and the National Youth Service Corps in Nigeria. Let's see how these guys hang out. The the NYSC guys. Let's see how they hang out. So in the closing clip, we'll be seeing them dancing. I'll see you. So guys, I do appreciate for your time. Thank you for joining me. And I hope you've learned a thing or two about our youth in the programs they undertake in the different countries. So if you like my content, please drop a comment, give me a like, and let's grow together. Otherwise, adios, amigos. Bye bye.